Guys, what's going on? Dan Klein here. This is cool. This is where the rubber hits the road, guys. I know this is what you've been waiting for, to start getting in and start building out your first niche. We had to lay a solid foundation. We've been teaching this long enough to know that, you got to know the 10,000 mile up view before you just jump in and start building something up. So hopefully we ran through those foundational videos quick enough, and now this is time to go. Now, before we get started and we start building your first niche, I want you to make sure we recap what we're going to do. Number one, your first niche, I want to be in 50,000 to 350,000 in population. So I want you to pick like a suburb of, if you're in a big city, pick a suburb. If you're overseas, just find something. You can use Google and find that, okay? Number two, before you enter the niche, do your due diligence and call around. So if you're going to pick a niche, and we're going to go through a number of examples in this video of students' actual sites so you can get good ideas, okay? But before you go in, I want you calling around, just like I said. I want you seeing if the market is good. I want you seeing if there's other people in that market that you don't want to be going up against from competition standpoint. Literally, there's endless opportunities here, so don't get hung up on one. But if you don't do your research first, shame on you. Number three, try to stay close to your physical location on your first 3 to 5 niches as you learn. I think this is really important. I think it adds a level of complexity when you have to go outside of your physical location, and you can't do it locally. Now, again, we have people that do this all the time. I've just noticed over the year that it's created a little bit extra like gap in time. It takes them a little bit longer to get started, and some of them give up too soon because it's this extra frustration. So I'd rather see you close by. Listen, the bottom line is, if there's local businesses close by and there's humans close by, then it's going to be something that people are spending money. So there's no reason to go across the sea or 10 states over. It's just kind of silly, in my opinion. Okay, number four, when you get a tracking number, it must be the same area code as your city or county. So what does that mean? In the coming videos, you're going to be getting a tracking phone number, okay? Do not get a 188 number or 1-800 number. That will not work. You must get so if your area code is 916, you need to get a 916 area code. It doesn't have to be like some of these phone numbers. As long as the area code is correct, that's all you need to that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's in it says, oh, this is in a different city. As long as the area code meets the city of what people would dial in that city, you're fine, okay? So you'll be getting a number in future videos here. Okay, and make sure before you enter your first niche, there's a UPS store. This is for US based job killers, for Canada, for the UK, for Australia, for anywhere else. All you need to do is you need to identify like a place where you can get a mailbox set up that you can receive mail. Because what you're going to be doing in some of the coming videos is you're going to be getting a postcard from Google and from Bing and from some of the others, okay? Now, people ask me this all the time. I'm going to cover this right now. Can you use your personal address? The answer is yes, and I've done it many, many times. Let me tell you the downfalls before you go and do that. Number one, the address is going to be live on the internet, okay? Google allows you to hide it, but the rest of them don't. So if you use your personal address, it's not really a big deal, because I don't really think people pay attention to the address, especially in phone-driven businesses. But just know that the address will be live on Yelp, on Yahoo, all these different sites, so people could see it. So like everyone's worry is, well, what if people show up to my house? And I always tell them, well, what if people show up to your house anyway? What if you have the guy that comes by your neighborhood? So I wouldn't recommend it necessarily unless you're very, very tight on money. Then maybe for your first niche. But again, I'd rather see you get a local address that you can get some mail set up. The main thing to keep in mind is it cannot be a P.O. box. So again, before you enter your first niche, make sure there's a local place that you can receive mail that is not going to be a P.O. box. So some ideas, guys. So you got the UPS. Regis is like a virtual office. A lot of cities have those things. You can Google virtual offices too. Sometimes you can use those. Maybe a friend's business that has a business, you can do it there, and no, it won't affect their business whatsoever. A lot of people, one of the main questions we get at this point in the training is, Am I going to be able to register multiple businesses at this one address? And the answer is yes. And let me give you the explanation. Think of a big high-rise building. They all have the same address. They just have different suite numbers. Okay, so the search engines are used to having multiple businesses at one address. So don't let that throw you for a loop. There's just a little extra step that we're going to show you, so you don't register 5 of them at once or something like that, because that looks a little fishy. But we're going to register them one at a time, and as they get registered, we'll do the next one. But I've used up to 5 to 6 at a single location. So kind of giving you some feedback there is this one address that you're going to spend, I think it's like $25 or $35, and I think they make you buy 3 months. So you'll spend like $80-90 on this thing. You're going to be able to get 5 niches going at this one location. Again, if you need to get creative and you need to go and find a business, you could find a business and you could just say, hey, I'd like to, I'll do some trade for you. I just need to get some mail here. I'm registering my phone-driven business, blah, 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 blah. No one will ever show up here. I mean, the bottom line is you can get creative if money is tight, but no matter what, you may not use a PO box. Okay, that is a no-no. Now, the other thing I want to touch on is at this point, as we're kind of giving you the roadmap here, UPS boxes are one of those things that in Google's what they say is that you're not allowed to use a UPS box, but 900 and some job killers later, UPS boxes absolutely work, and Google's been saying this for like 6-7 years, and I've been using them for 6-7 years. So I don't want that to throw you for a loop. Now, every once in a while, a UPS box, a Google employee will look at it and say, "Oh, this is no good." Not the end of the world. They'll actually disable your local listing, and all you got to do is set it up again. It's very rare that it happens, but with the scale of how many job killers have went through this, I see it's like 1 in 10 it happens to, and then you just got to resubmit it. So it's not the end of the world. The sky is not falling. It will happen to someone who's watching this video, I guarantee you. And then you just rebound and you just fix it. Okay, it's happened to me. I've done this enough times, but I want you to know that it's just sometimes a little bump in the road, and it's just one part of the process you're going to go through. And then last but not least, I want you to make sure you ask questions in the group if you get stuck on any one of these things. Both of the support that we've put in place will be able to answer questions, but I just want you to know that up front that these things are really important before we get started. So make sure your population's on point. Make sure you can have an address. Now, the other thing about the address, I would recommend try to find the more affluent area of that town, okay, where people are spending more money. Okay, the bottom line is if you are in a non-affluent area, the people that are doing searches around that area are going to see your business in the search engines more than if it's across town and your business address isn't over there. So if you can spare it, try to get in a more affluent area of town. You will do better with the hyper local searches that will happen. Okay, so let's just pop over. I want to show you because I want to help you pick this first niche. So I'm going to show you some job killers actual live sites. But before I do that, I want to show you how you can search for them inside the Facebook group. So for the last year, we've trained limo rental. Okay, so let me show you a limo rental site. This is a limo rental site. This site generates quite a bit of money. So as you can see, it's very simple. This is the way we trained it. It's the only thing that I don't do is I don't put the header up here, but that's fine. It's not going to make or break the site. So you're going to see all these sites that we take you through. Everyone's added their little flair of what they like, okay? It's not exactly the way I trained it before, which is why I'm kind of loosening it up, because I realized that even though I trained it a certain way, people went and did their own thing anyway, and they're still getting great results. So it's not necessarily the exact structure that I went for in the training, but it works. So we got the home, we got all these different service pages that they wrote, okay? We got about, we got contact, awesome, okay? Now let me show you, okay? All right, let's go to this group right here. And so let's just say I wanted to search this group for limo. So if I typed in here, I could search limo, and it's going to give me every place. You might have to scroll a little bit, but I could look up every limo site that's ever been made inside of job killing. So there, I can also find some other stuff like here's a DJ site. So if I want to check out this DJ site, I could click on it and I could pull this up. Okay. So cool, but it really doesn't fit any of the guidelines that we want, which I'm going to show you. So I don't know what this site's all about. Maybe it's not his personal site. I don't know, but it does not fit any of the guidelines that I would build a lead gen site. So we'll keep going here. Let's look at Limos Santa Rosa. Okay, cool. This really fits more. That needs to be moved over, but it fits a lot more in style of I want first and foremost, I want a quote form. I want the phone number up at the top of the page. Okay, I always want the phone number front and center. It's one of the biggest things people screw up is they don't put a phone number plow in your face. Okay, if we're generating phone calls, guys, we need the phone number as many times as we can all over the place. So no matter what page I go to, I got a phone number. Most businesses screw this thing up. The other thing you're going to notice on every page we go to, what are we asking for? We're asking for a lead. Okay. A huge thing local businesses don't do is they don't put a form on every page. If you don't ask, guys, you don't get. Okay, so let's look through some of these sites. We got cell phone repair, Tacoma. What are we doing? We're asking. I'd like that to be a little bit bigger, but we can also put it up here if necessary. And oh, he's done a good job. It's right there as well. Okay, so done that. We got lots of different pages on the site. So if you need ideas for what pages to write, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in the next video. Done a really good job. So you can use the job killers, use the private Facebook group, okay, to search for stuff and look over like if you want to go into a certain niche, pest control. I'm just giving examples here, guys. Everything's been done for you. You can check out. Now, not everyone's I don't believe not every person's done it perfectly, but you can get some ideas of what pages you should use. And you obviously should be doing your own due diligence as well. I'm going to teach you how to do that as far as how to figure out what pages are going to be good pages. Let's keep going here. Okay, so we got I love this niche and I love this site, by the way. I might want the phone number up there, but he's done a good job, or she's done a good job, whoever site this is, as putting it in the header as another example. It's not going to be clickable in the header, but that's okay. They're going to figure it out. It's also right there, so they're doing it often. So this is an awesome looking site. I mean, I really, really think they did a great job. I love the photos, the videos down the front homepage. The site looks great at the bottom. At the bottom again, I would probably add the address down there, but just kind of moving through this stuff. Look at all these pages. Like, great work here. This is a nice site. Great site, okay? So this would be something you could, that's someone in the group site, and they did a great job on it. They picked a cool theme. Let's keep going. So this is a carpet cleaning site. As you guys can see, I don't see the phone number up here, so that's something that needs to be changed. I don't like the get a free quote. I don't think it pops enough. But otherwise, lots of great content on the site, so very authoritative, as we said. It definitely needs pictures. But again, if we want to generate phone numbers, guys, where's the phone? Now, this looks like a brand new site. I know he just threw this up, so I'm not trying to bust his chops. But he's done a good job writing all the content. But shoot, if you got the content up, let's go ahead and get a phone number up front and center. No reason to have this thing without a phone number on it. Okay, let's keep moving. So tree service. This is a good looking site. They've went ahead and moved the quote form over here. The reason they did that is on mobile, it shows up first. Now I don't know if I've never done that on any of my sites. I don't know if I necessarily am into it. This is my theory. If someone's on a cell phone, I want them calling me, not filling out a quote form. And generally, people aren't filling out quote forms on cell phones. That's just how it is. So instead of trying to put this front and center, and I believe the search engines, they read left to right. So it's not something that I do on any of my sites, but I know we have a couple students that do it. Again, when they're on a cell phone, I want them hitting the click to call button. I don't want to fill out a form, okay? This is a cool site. This is a tow truck site, so kind of cool. I'm sure it can use some more pages and whatnot. I don't think it has a whole bunch of maybe so. But still, not a bad looking site. This is kind of cool. So we got a phone number, but really authoritative in content. You're not going to find a tow truck site. I would just probably add some more photos down this page to even this stuff out. Okay, so as you can see, as I take you through this, here's a piano mover site, same type of thing. So I think what you guys are seeing here is no matter what the site, no matter what the theme, if we can keep things consistent, which is we're going to have a phone number front and center, We're going to have highly authoritative content, which this part's going to be the biggest part that sucks for you guys, is writing this content. But I'm going to show you some ways around that. I'm going to show you, Brad's going to show you some templates, or not templates, but some outlining and things that you can do. And then if you don't want to do it whatsoever, we have people in the group that can do it for you. Okay, so authoritative content. We're not just making 5-page sites. Most of these sites, this is maybe a 5-page site, but most of these sites, like if we looked at like where did that site I love go? Look at this site. I mean, this thing is the most authoritative party bus site in the marketplace, I guarantee you. Okay, but we're asking for a quote. We're asking for a lead on every page, no matter what. Doesn't matter what page we're on. This needs a quote form. There it is. Okay, I'd put that up a little bit higher. Okay, every page we're asking for information, and we got a way they can contact us. Guys, if you don't do that, you're missing leads, which is what most 99.9% of business owners will put a contact page on their site. In fact, a lot of business owners that you're going to talk to, they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if I like the way that looks on that page. Listen, you keep moving pianos, sir. You keep moving pianos. Let me generate leads. I don't really give, what you like and don't like. I know that if I'm asking for you to call on every page, if I'm asking for you to fill out a form on every page, I know that I'm going to get more leads than the guy that only has one page on a site of 25 pages that's asking for it, or that's publishing a phone number. It's common sense. You don't ask, you don't get. I want you guys to really get that drilled through your head before we start building out. Here's another one. This is kind of like the same as my window tint. I think though this needs to be an image, so that needs to be fixed. Okay, because if you type this in text on the page, you don't want to do that. We'll show you how to make the image that you put there instead. But so this is a little pest control site. See, it's the same setup, guys. Authoritative content, quote form to get a quote, and pictures down the page, and then same thing across these other pages. Termite control, same thing. Authoritative content, quote form, images. I know for you designers, you're going, oh, you're rolling your eyes and you're saying, I don't know, man. I don't like how these look. 41,000 phone calls later last month. It proven that what matters is getting eyeballs on your site. Now, if you're great at designing, like our party busser was, awesome, but don't spend all your time on it. Get something that's functional, that looks good, what have you, and get it up. Okay, let's keep going here. Here's a cool site. They did it a little bit different, but I still like it, and it really fits the motif of like what you'd like on one of these sites. It still looks good. So if she threw some little flair on there, but same process. Authoritative content. We're getting a quote, okay? An instant quote with no obligation. Great. Photo booth rental. This is a cool looking site. Same idea. Phone number. I know I'm beating a dead horse, and you're probably like, shut the heck up, Klein. I've done this enough times, and I want you guys to know that this process we're going to put you through, and I'm going to get you back into training. We're going to start building out. I want you building out 3 niches on this first one, and they're just going to all be structured exactly the same. And so I want you really to understand the structure of why it works on every site that you see here. Every site that you see here. Every one, okay? It's all the same. Okay? Once you get that down, you're dangerous, because you have like your outline of how to do it. So in the next video, I'm going to show you actually how to build that out, and we're going to start building your first niche. Guys, what's going on? Dan Klein here. In the last video, I said we're going to jump right into building your first niche out, and I hope you have your first niche picked. And you know what? I want to give you a couple more things for some of you guys that are still like, oh, crap, what am I going to do? What's my first niche going to be? And I definitely want you to do these things prior to going in your first niche. And so I wanted to make this video before just jumping right in and not really thinking through this. Now, you're going to hear me talk about low-hanging fruit a lot. Me and Brad say it all the time on the calls. And a lot of times people are like, what the heck does that mean? How do I know what low-hanging fruit is? Well, obviously low-hanging fruit is the easy niches to get into that you can kind of cherry pick. And so what I want to do in this video, and we have a 2-hour webinar on this that you can go and watch as well. We do talk about some stuff that is maybe a little bit past this point of your learning. So I'm going to try to simplify this video down and to show you what the difference of low-hanging fruit niches versus something that wouldn't be very low hanging fruit. So watch this. So I'm going to search real quick. Beverly Hills plastic. Right off the bat, obviously, most of you guys can probably understand that this is not going to be an easy niche to do well for. But I want to point out a couple key things for those of you guys watching that I look for now every time going into a niche, and that I want you guys to look for at least on your first couple niches as you get started, because half the battle is just getting your belief level up that you can actually do this. And so if you were to jump into job killing and you were like, I'm going to go into Beverly Hills plastic surgery, it'd be really hard to build some belief in you quickly that what you were learning was actually working, because this niche is 100% not low-hanging fruit. Let me show you a couple things that I want you looking at. So for those of you guys that are new to the space here, I'm just going to give a quick recap. Hold on. Right up here, this is an advertisement. This is an advertisement, ad. There's 4 ad spots as of right now on Google. This is called Google AdWords. This is where Google makes all its money. Right here, in specific niches, not in all niches, but in a local market, this is what we call the map pack. It's called a 3-pack now. It's been a 7-pack before, till just recently. That's why this video is definitely needed. It was a 7-pack. It was a 10-pack. It changes, and it's probably going to continue to change. And so as of right now, when we look at this, these top 3 businesses are really dominating the space, okay? These guys, I would say that this map pack is 70%, 60 to 70% of this business's traffic, this business's customers. You'll notice that the phone number's right there, front and center, right there on the front. So if you're scrolling through that, if you're on your cell phone, really easy to call, really easy to get directions. It just does the trick, okay? Now you'll also notice below the map pack, we're going to call this the organic rankings, okay? So this is where the websites, all the way down to here, this is where they're just organically ranking, okay? And I'm going to talk in future videos about some of the things that I look for in those spots. But mainly, guys, I want to point out some key components to stay away from. If the 3 people in this map pack, if their websites are on page 1 in Google, specifically in chronological order, so Mr. David E. Kim, his website is BeverlyHillsPlasticSurgery.com. So let's go over here. So we got Beverly Hills, David Kim. So that's him right there. So he's 1 in the pack, number 2 in here. Then we got Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group. They're number 2, but they're number 1 here. Okay, so we're seeing those. And then we got his website as this loads. We got GHAVA plasticsurgery.com. GHAVA plasticsurgery.com. All right, page 1. Okay, so these aren't in exact chronological order, but what we see is, and I bet you if we open this up a little bit more, what we see is that these businesses that are all in even the top 10, most likely all hog up the top 10 organic spots, okay? Making this niche incredibly difficult to tap into, okay? Incredibly difficult to tap into. So first and foremost, I would not want you guys going into something where the top 3 spots, the organic you see in the top 1 page, okay, page 1. If you see the top 3 spots here and those same websites on page 1, it's not to say that we can't win this niche. It ain't going to go fast, though. It's going to be a slower process. It's going to take more time, more money, more patience. And right on this first one, guys, I want to get you some quick wins. I want to get you leads coming in quickly, okay? So this ain't going to do it, okay? This would be something that I would stay far, far away from until I'm a seasoned pro at this stuff. So now let's look at some low-hanging fruit. Let's identify some low-hanging fruit. I'm just going to do random searches. I haven't done any research on this. Let's come up to El Dorado Hills where I'm at, okay? Let's do El Dorado Hills pool cleaner. Now I want to point out a couple things. If a map doesn't pop up, That's not always a good thing. Okay, that doesn't mean it's like, oh, it's super low hanging fruit. Like, we want the map to pop up. If it's not popping up, a couple things you might need to change, like where you searched. So El Dorado Hills pool cleaner, maybe I needed to do pool cleaner El Dorado Hills. Okay. Either way, couple core things I want you to look at. I want you to look. So we just did this search, pool cleaner El Dorado Hills. We got Greg's Pool Works. We got El Dorado Hills Pool Service and Repair. And we got Polar Bear Pool Service. One thing I'm looking at right now, all of them have websites. Guys, you're going to be blown away how few businesses that show up in this day and age don't even have a website attached to their listing, when this listing is equivalent to probably 60 to 70% of their leads that come from the web. Now, sometimes businesses, just by the age that they've been around, will show up here and they've done almost everything wrong. This is when we start kind of saying this is low-hanging fruit. So let's look. So Greg's Pool Service, we're going to open this up real quick. We got gregspoolworks.com. Okay, let's see if we find that. There he is. Cool. We're going to go this one, El Dorado Hills Pool Service and Repair. This is powered by Weebly. Interesting. Okay, so we got that. El Dorado Pool Service and Repair. Very light on the. This is not going to do good for him. This shows me this is low hanging fruit. I can already tell. Let's just take a look where they line up. So there's edhpools.net. Let's see if they're on page 1. Nope. See if they're on page 2. edhpools.net. Okay, mid page 2. Great. Okay. Let's go back. And we got Pool Bear Pool Service. Pool Bear, Pool Bear, Pool Bear. poolbearpoolservice.com. Oops. Pool Bear Pool Service. I'm not seeing it. Sometimes I go too fast. I just want to double check my eyes here. Pool Bear Pool Service. Okay, so cool. Check this out. So this is not bad. We have one of the 3 on page 1, and of that one, it's darn near the bottom. Okay, and then the other 2, looking at their website, whatever, just from the years I've been doing this, knowing that they did very little work on it, and they're already ranked in here. So those are some key components that I'm looking at. So this is not a bad niche. Now, El Dorado Hills is probably a little smaller in size than I would probably like for you guys. I think it's only 17,000, 18,000, but there's a lot of homes with pools, so it could be a good niche. And but to me, this is I'm kind of pointing out some low hanging fruit. Now check this out. Taxi El Dorado Hills. Now this is interesting. Now I'm not saying that taxis in El Dorado Hills, it's not like some bustling metropolis, but I wanted to point out to you that, first of all, Folsom Yellow Cab isn't even located in El Dorado Hills. So that's interesting because it's basically not even in the same city, and it's more powerful. We got El Dorado Hills limo service, but Folsom Taxi has no website. Okay, Metro Cab has no website, and then we got El Dorado Hills limo, which has a website that's number 2. But what this shows me is this is like taking kid candy from a baby. I could probably publish live right now, go over and publish a site and go and get my local listings up, which I'm going to teach you in the next modules coming up. But this is hot. This is easy. Okay, this is easy takings. Okay, a lot different than what we saw over there at Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery. So I think the main kind of core components, I don't want you to overthink this, but the thing I want you to definitely stay far, far away from is when all 3 on page 1, all 3 listings are showing up in the top couple sections, even on page 1, I think, for your first one. I want you kind of staying away from that and looking at a new niche. Again, we could go head to head with Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery, and we're going to make it work, but it's going to take us a lot longer. Okay, so everyone's question always is, Dan, how fast? Well, All depends on the niche. We going into Beverly Hills plastic surgery? We going into pool service in El Dorado Hills? Or we going into taxi? So you can kind of see the kind of three different ends of the spectrum. We have the taxi, no websites, and they're still listed in here, hogging up, getting their phone number right there at the very top. And then we got the pool service. Only one is on page 1 down in this organic. The rest are over on page 2, and they're pretty weak. And then we got like the super extreme example where these are just dialed in, tons of reviews, just perfect, all dialed in right there on page 1 where I'm going, ugh, this is going to be tough. So that's guys, that's some really good stuff to look at. If you want to dig deeper into this subject before you pick your niche, you surely can. There's about a 2-hour webinar where we did this live on camera with all of our students. And I use some of these same niches too, so you're going to see that come up. But super important when picking your first niche that you don't jump into something that's so competitive. Now, make sure, I'll give you a good example here. Underwater basket weaving. El Dorado Hills. So some people will ask me and be like, Dan, look, I did a search for it and there's no map. Is that a good thing? No, that's not necessarily a good thing. That means probably if Google's not saying this is map worthy from a local business, most likely that local business it's kind of non-existent, like underwater basket weaving. There's probably not any underwater basket weaving, people anywhere probably, but you guys get the point. So also, like I said, make sure if you did a search for underwater basket weaving and nothing popped up from a map, you do this and you switch it around. Do we get a map now? Nope. Okay. If you do taxi El Dorado Hills, well, we got like some other, you can come down here if it's not pulling a map, you might come down here and look up some other ideas of what maybe Google is relating searches to. Okay. So again, before you pick your first niche, take some time, do some different searches. Okay. Another quick thing to come and look at before you pick that first niche and just start building your site out. Thumbtack. I want you to look at this site. We're going to learn a little bit more about this later on. But if you need some ideas from a niche list, let's just go. Let's see here. I'm going to show you a great let's do home improvement as an example. You need some ideas for niches. Guys, these are the A's. A's, B's. I mean, we're talking just unlimited niches and opportunity to make so much money. This is exciting. Like, this gets me jacked up, and I've been doing this for 8 years. This is just ridiculous. Guys, have fun with coming up, seriously, look at some of these things, like fence painters. You probably never really would have thought of that, right? Let's go over to Google. Sorry. Fence painters, El Dorado Hills. Doesn't really matter. Oh, bingo. What do we got here? Blackwater painting, Al Lombardi painting. Okay, let's just do a quick little look at. So we got Blackwater painting. Some of you guys are going to see Home Advisors and Yelps and stuff like that, and you'll be like, "Hey, should I be going into this if I see all this?" That's okay. Stick to what I just told you. Usually that's a sign that there's not that many businesses that have done that good of a job. So let's look here. Our first guy is Blackwater painting. His website, or his or her website, is blackwaterpaintinginc.com. Boom, bottom of page 1. Cool, good to know. Al Lombardi, his website is ElDoradoHillsPainter.org. Okay, old Al. See if ElDoradoHillsPainter.org. Not there. Eldorado Hills Painter. Not on page 2. You guys smell that? It's low-hanging fruit. Yeah, not on page 3. Boom. Okay, so we've already exploited this as a possibility here. This fence painter, Eldorado Hills Community Park. I mean, for the love of everything, a park has been listed in as a painter. That's how low the amount of painters that have taken the time to get themselves dialed in. So absolutely low hanging fruit right here for fence painters in El Dorado Hills, California. Again, I might switch it around. I might hit, and it doesn't matter. You can use the CA or whatever. It's going to know where you're searching from. Same ones are pulling up. Same results. So guys, hopefully this video was awesome for you. Thumbtack, start coming up with different ideas. The biggest things that I want you to make sure you steer clear of is steer clear of a brick and mortar business, meaning a business that they have to actually physically drive there to show up. I want phone-driven businesses. Phone-driven businesses, because guess where they have to go in order to get in touch with the business owner? Most likely to one of your lead gen sites that you're going to build. Okay, they can't drive over to the fence painter's place at the mall because it doesn't exist. Number 2, so phone-driven businesses, number 1. Number 2, every state, every country, every city is a little bit different. There's certain things, like I know pest control in California and New York have some really strict guidelines and licenses, guys. You got to check with your state and your local, state, if there's specific licenses on a specific niche. That's going to be up to you guys. Brad and I do not have the time to look up everyone. It's easy to find this stuff. Again, not the end of the world, but just do your due diligence. It's your own business. We're just the guys teaching the skill sets of how to look at what you're looking at when you can look at something and say, I can dominate that. But dude, just a great resource for you guys. And every one of these resources, it's free for you guys to search this stuff and come up with ideas and come up with different things that you can go after. Do your due diligence, pick your niche, don't get too hung up, but follow what I've told you in this video. This video will save you literally months and months and months of going into the deep, dark holes of the Beverly Hills plastic surgery, and it will literally get you on the fast track a lot quicker. Okay? With that being said, guys, we'll start building out your next niche, or building out your first niche in the next video, I promise. All right, guys, let the games begin. Dan Klein here. I'm going to show you how to set up your site right now. We're going to start building out your first niche. So hopefully you've got your niche for this very first one chosen. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and grab this title button, and I want you to drag it onto your page, okay? And then you're going to, this will just be like, so if you were doing carpet cleaning example, you could do something like that, okay? Then what I want you to do, I'm going to delete this real quick, is I want you to drag your text onto the page. Now, one of the things with Weebly, when you're dragging and dropping, that can get difficult is if you don't have any text in this right off the bat when you're first designing this out, it kind of gets hard to drag elements. So I went over and I went to blindtextgenerator.com /lorem ipsum. This is just filler text, okay? And I went for the homepage is very important, and so I want to put 1,000 words, and I want to see what that looks like. And this is just filler text for us designing it. So I want you to copy that and come back over and paste it. Okay, this is going to give you what your page would look like if you just had that text on there. But what it does is, from a design standpoint and layout standpoint, it gives us the kind of look and feel of what things are going to look like. So then next thing I want you to do is I want you to come down and I want you to grab the contact form. Okay, I want you to drag that over. Now I want to do that one more time so you see. Okay, this is something I see people mess up all the time. If you drag it up here, see that little blue line to the right? That means it's going to go on that line with carpet cleaning El Dorado Hills. Watch. And so if you're going, well, why is my text way down here? Well, it's because you didn't drag it in the right spot. Okay, now if I want to move that, I can at the very top of every element. So on this, if I want to drag that, I could either drag that over, but what I really want you guys to do is I want you to drag this down to the side, so that blue line is now there. Okay. All right. Now we have a layout. Okay. If this layout look familiar to you, kinda looks a little bit familiar. All right. So let's go back. So now we got this layout of this front page. I want you to delete out this element. Just delete it. Okay. So now you don't have anything at the very top, and I want you to grab an image. So right now the image is right there. Go ahead and grab that and drag it on over. Done. Now we have an image that we're going to do there. We're going to save that for now. Okay. Here's a little quick tip. You might see like, oh, the form doesn't look the same when I'm in it, Dan. If you're just hovering over it, it won't matter. If you click on it, it's going to gray out the screen, and these will change over on the left-hand side. Okay, so if I'm outside here, it's the normal Weebly elements. If I click on the actual form, all of this stuff changes. Okay, that's a tip that people got hung up with over and over and over again. All right, so what I want you to do is I've created a little image for you. You're more than welcome to use your own. This is just a dummy image. I'm going to pause the video right now, but right underneath this video, I will place this image so you can download it to your computer and use it here if you want to use mine. I also might make a couple other ones for you as well, because this image has been played out, and it doesn't fit every specific one of these things, but for now I've made it for you, and you can just upload it there. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to pause the video for a second. All right, so here's the image. So I want you to go ahead, and if you're on a PC, just do save image as, and it will bring up, I'll just save it as the instant quote to my computer. If you're on a Mac, I'm not sure how you do that, but you guys probably know because you're Mac users. All right, so that's there. It's just downloaded to my computer. I downloaded it to my desktop, so it's easy to find. Now, all I would do here is click upload image. I click right on that, okay, and then click on it again, and now it's going to have me upload the actual image. So I want that instant quote image. Okay, so instant quote, there it is. Go ahead and upload. Perfect. Now I can go hit save. Okay, now I can preview my site. At this point, I want you to preview your site online. Hit preview. The preview button's kind of like the, oh, hold on one second. Let me get back to it. There we go. I had actually built it on the contact us page. So make sure you're building on the first page, the home page. I just fixed it, so nothing big. But the preview kind of shows you where you're at. So like right now, I got this like, this site that's live. I mean, it's there, and we're moving forward. So this is going to be able to really give you your outline, and I'm gonna show you a little trick to really speed up your results here in a second, and speed up the speed at which you can get a site live. Okay, so for now, the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to drop a couple images in. So just pull over here, drop an image in. Okay, I really am a big fan of evening out my site. Okay, so that way I don't have all this text, because we're going to have a lot of text on the homepage specifically, because it's so important, and it's what every one of your competitors will not do. Okay, so I want to even this stuff out. Now these are going to be bigger than this, so for the time being, I'm just going to show you where you can get an image. So there's a couple places you can get images. Okay, so you can go from your computer if you have images that will fit the motif of the site. You can go to search and search for images inside of Weebly. So I'm going to search for, if I'm doing the carpet cleaning niche, which I'm not saying to do the niche, I'm just trying to give you guys an example. So I have carpet cleaning. These images these are free photos, it looks like. I'm not liking these. Carpet cleaner. So nothing's really, I'm not finding any good photos in Weebly, so I'm going to probably have to go out and grab some photos elsewhere. Now, this is a place where a lot of people so for some sites, just so you know, there is some good, like for the limousines, like there's great photos, right? For some niches, you won't find anything great in there. Now, the only thing I will caution you on, let's say we were doing a limo site for the example, and we said, oh, let's grab that photo, and it was just going to load it right there on my page. the only thing I'd caution you on, number one, make sure you resize and get this thing so it's not too big. But number two, what it does is it actually puts a link down in the bottom of your footer. Now, you're going to learn this in later videos, but those links are actually going to take away power from your site. So I would highly recommend to not go and use all of Weebly's free photos, because you'll have literally a list of 100 links going out to all these different sites. It's actually going to take all the value away from your site. So that's why I would really encourage you to go out and grab some photos of your own. Now, word of wisdom. You know, I used to do this for years. I used to just go over to Google and grab images. Let's see here. For free, but I was actually taking them, which is not a good strategy because you can get yourself in big trouble doing that. But let's just say we did carpet cleaner. I'm gonna tell you guys to go at your own risk at this, however you guys want to do it. Obviously, if you wanted to do fillers, the only thing I could tell you is these photos. There's a company by the name of Digimark that literally will embed a pixel in photos. You can't see it; it's invisible. As soon as this photo would go, if it had a Digimark on it, as soon as this photo hits your site, they have a dashboard. They're updated, and then you can get copyright violations. So there's a couple different places you can go that a lot of the job killers go. Hang tight. My computer's slow. There we go. There's a couple of different places you can go for photos. You can get really inexpensive photos. One is Dollar Photo Club. Oops. I don't know why they're using my photos. I didn't give them any access to my... Just joking. Dollar Photo Club, okay? So here's Dollar Photo Club. That's one. So if we were like carpet cleaner. And if sometimes Dollar Photo Club's not taking any new members, so you can always post in the group to see if someone has a membership. But I'm sure they'll take your money. But it's a cheap way, so you can use their photos and you buy them. And that, don't spend. Here's my word of wisdom. A, go at your own risk. B, if you're going to take photos off Google, that's on you if you get in trouble. I did it for years and didn't, but I wouldn't now, I don't believe. But don't go and spend big money on photos, okay? You know, get photos for cheap. So there's some stuff in the group. I'm going to pause the video and pull it up. Hang tight. Okay, so I just went over to the Facebook groups to just try to show you this. I typed up at the very top free photos, and you'll see, I mean, every question, every like tip that it's ever been given inside job killing is been databased in this. So Megan gave us this free place where we can get free photos and whatnot. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys right there. It's called thenewschool.com, blah, blah, blah. They're going to try to get your information, blah, blah. But you can go through here and read about this, and they got some different areas and different things that they recommend. Again, not every place is going to have your photos that you want, like for a certain industry, but go through, and this is a good little resource to use for photos. Try to save yourself some money and learn a little bit about the industry. Again, I think someone just posted this in the group as well. Don't buy the high resolution photos. Those are for printing. So if you ever do buy any of the photos, you can get the lowest res possible, and for the web, it doesn't matter, okay? So go ahead and fill in this. I'm going to delete this out. Go ahead and fill in your photos that you want for this home page. Okay, and that will even this stuff out. And then in the next video, we're going to get into putting our phone number up there, kind of getting this all ready to go and start adding our pages. Okay, guys, what's up? Dan Klein. In the last video, we kind of got you set up all the way till here. We got some stuff uploaded, kind of basic format of our site, what it's going to look like, filler text, and then obviously the photo side of it. I'm going to drag a couple more photos on here. And then while we're doing this here, I'm gonna upload just a couple so you guys can be up to speed. I just grabbed a couple here. I want to make sure as you upload these that they are not too big, so you resize them if they are. So let's just see here. Some of these might be bigger than others. So we can always flop them. So if I want to put that one there and maybe that one's not big enough, I can go bigger with it. Okay, make it in line so it doesn't look all janky. Keep going here. Carpet cleaning 3. I just grabbed a couple so I could show this kind of tutorial, but whatever niche you're in, right, you want to be using your photos. I just want to even this out. That's all I want to do on each page. I don't want it to look like my text is, you know, this huge long text and then the photos are not following. That's the only reason I do that. Obviously, like I told you guys, play at your own risk as far as where you get your photos from. I just don't want you guys to get in any trouble, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so now we've kind of got this all done. Let's take a quick preview at our site where we're at right now. So not bad, guys. We're moving along here. Okay, cool. So next, what I want to do is I want to show you how you can put a photo actually in this image. So I'm going to drag an image over, put it right in there. So it's going to make that blue box. Now, you're not going to be able to do this if you don't have text there. So if you have one line, this is going to be very difficult to do, but we put filler text in there just for the build out. Put that in there. And then I'm going to upload a photo. Let's just do that one. So now I got like a little photo going, little action. I can resize. Okay. So that's cool. Do that. Go bigger if I want to. Okay. So let's do a quick preview. So this site's coming along. I'm going to go ahead and do away with this right here, but that's going to be up to you. I'm going to let you guys make that decision. I don't really care one way or the other. It's not going to make or break your business. I mean, shoot, you could in theory put your phone number right here too with a better background image, right? So we could, if you wanted to, hit edit image, right? I want to upload an image. I'm going to upload from my computer. Maybe we'll use this one here. We used it at the bottom of the page. But see, I could put that up there if I wanted to. Yeah, that's fine. I'll save that. Save all pages. So, you know, and then I could come in here and I could just do, just like you do at email, I could adjust my text or whatever. I believe, one second here. Yeah, let's see here. I know we can link this too, so if we wanted it to be a clickable link for a phone number, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. For me though, I'm probably not going to leave this image up there. I'm going to go into pages here, and I'm going to make no header as my option for the home page. I just like people being able to get right to the point really, really simply. I know some people say they don't like it because it's not as, you know, visually stimulating, but honestly, I like the fact that right when they get on the site, they get right into the juice. They can give me a lead. They can call my phone number that I'll have up there soon. And so that's why I like doing that. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to edit this form. This is one of those things that I think it's asked over and over and over in Job Killing 1.0, so I want to address it in 2.0. Let me pause and bring another. I'm going to show you the limo niche that we used to go into. I'm going to show you what our form looked like. Hang tight. Okay, so here's one of the forms. So as you notice, there's hours requested, number of passengers, date, name, phone number, email, pickup location, drop off, and event occasion. Now, this has been kind of customized for this specific client, and you're more than welcome to do that. It's not going to make or break. If they ask you to change up your form, that's okay. But you're going to have to use some creativity. And the second thing I'm going to tell you to do is use the Facebook group. So let's go over to the Facebook group real quick. Let's go to Job Killing. Let's go up to, well, let's go to Robbie maybe. Robbie's, is his up? Carpet cleaning. I'm going to find one that's just live I can click on. Here we go, carpet cleaning Santa Rosa. I don't know, I haven't looked at this. Name, email, phone number. Okay, I like this and like that. Okay, the only thing I would want on this is number of hallways. And so one thing I would just encourage you to do is search through a couple of them, and you can always add and subtract as you go. I don't know what it is with me, but I have a pet peeve of asking for a comment. I don't want to comment, okay? The reason I don't want to comment is, and I don't know, I could be wrong here, okay? This is just my own little deal. I don't like a comment because I feel like it doesn't feel like it's an actual quote form. I feel like people just think it's just a contact form now. That's why I don't put a comment in there. Let me show you on like the carpet cleaning niche. Here's what I used for mine. Okay, number of rooms. Okay, I made that. Number of hallways. Made that. Okay. Additional services needed. This was some upsell stuff we figured out after. So, maybe they needed some different of these things. So I added that. And then I actually put their name, their phone number, their email. Now, let me tell you the strategy behind this. The reason I did that later on was because I wanted them getting committed to giving me the information as they click through before just gathering their name, email, and phone number. Everyone knows that this is the real true spot that we want to get. But in reality, I wanted them getting down the path of filling stuff out before they had to start giving me. So again, is it the only way you can do it? No. Is it you get what I'm saying? There's different ways. In this one, I actually used and put my number up in the top. Again, every different project, you can go and do things differently. Just understand, this is a really old one of mine. But the bottom line is you want on every page, you want a way for them to give you their contact information. You want your phone number as many places as possible so they can get in contact with you guys. Okay, this site hasn't been touched in years. This used to be actually a real business's site, and then the guy moved towns, got into a nasty deal, a nasty divorce, and so it's kind of been just left high and dry. So don't go use that as your basis. Use what I'm teaching you here. So I'm going to go in and click on the form. I'm going to delete this stuff. Here's the reason I want you guys to get this form right on the front home page. I'm going to show you how we're going to take this form and we're going to copy it so you don't have to build this thing every time. So let's build this thing out. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab the phone number, put that right there. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm going to do and remember, if you didn't click over here, these are going to look different, right? So if we're over here, these are going to look like this. If you click on the actual form, these are going to change, okay? So we need a drop down. Okay, we'll put that drop down there. So here's how you edit the drop down. So we want to title it, So let's title this one number of rooms. Then I'm going to hit edit options and I'm going to do one room. And so on and so forth. I'd probably go out to like 7 if I was doing carpet cleaning, but every niche is going to be a bit different. The key for you guys is that you go through the Facebook group, you look at other businesses in your marketplace, and you kind of get your industry down. Okay, this is the part of the due diligence. Everyone wants to ask, well, Dan, make the form for me. Tell me exactly what fields. Guys, I just go and do research, and that's what I want you to start to learn to do, okay? There's no wrong or right way to do this. It's just the only wrong way is if you don't have some sort of form in there altogether, okay? Number of hallways. Okay, and I really do want you to understand, I'm not telling you to go into carpet cleaning, okay? That's not what I'm saying by me picking this. I had to pick a niche so I could train you. There are so many great niches, and as I showed you earlier, okay, there we go. Cool. And then if I want to put that little, let's say I want to put that little, oops, see, now it's changed. Oh gosh, this is where we get a question in the Facebook group. It's not looking the same. Click on it again. Okay, let's go back over. We're going to do some option boxes. Okay, and you guys play with this a little bit. Play with this. Do your due diligence. I don't even know. I'm just going to make one up. Is that spelled right? Grout? I don't know. Whatever. All right. Okay. So we've kind of built out a little form here. I'm going to show you. Click down by the submit button. Okay. And you can call this form, just so you know what it is, whatever your niche name is, carpet cleaning. Okay. Now all of the submissions are going to go to jobkilling.com, this email. Okay. So for instance, if you were going to do and send this form to the business owner you're going to work with, and you wanted to get a copy on every one of them, just put a comma in, space, and then put in your second email. Okay, so maybe this is your business owner's email. Okay, so you could do that, comma, and if you wanted it to go to maybe your secretary or whoever's looking over your stuff, whatever, you could put their email. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you comma, space, okay? And you can, don't put too many in there. Here's the one known thing, though, I'll tell you about this form, is that Gmail has a slight lag in it, okay? So if you can get past putting a Gmail in, there's a little bit of a lag in how long it takes to get to a Gmail. So if the business owner that you're sending this to has a Gmail address, there's going to be a lag in it. I'm going to show you in later videos how we get past that and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's say I want to edit my confirmation button. Okay, right now it's just saying, hey, thank you for the information has been submitted. Okay, so I can just do that, or I can send them to a link. I'm going to show you how to send them to a link, but not quite yet. Okay, I'm going to make that page first. Okay, so let's just take a look at what we got. Looking good. Okay, submit button. Here's what I want to change. I want it in the center, and I'm going to put, up to you what you put here. You could put submit. Okay, boom. Click off the page. Now I got this whole thing right in the middle. Bam. Let's take a look at what we got so far. All right, so we got this first niche. We've built out our first page. Things are looking great. Got images on there. Put an image up in here. We've built out a form. We've put where the form is going to go. The last step we need to do is we need to make a place where when someone submits the form, where they're going to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into pages. So click on pages. Okay. I want you to add a page, and it's going to be a standard page. And this is going to be the, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it hooray. You can call it complete, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'll call it complete. I can't spell. That's why I make the big bucks. Okay, no header, hide page and navigation. Make sure you click that. I don't want this thing showing up. This is where, when someone fills out the form, this is where they're going to go. Okay, so save and edit. And then for me, I just make this page really simple. I put like I drag the title over. So I put something like this. Again, you can put whatever you want on this page. Someone will be contacting shortly. If you need immediate assistance, please call. And then, you can put in your tracking number. Okay. And then I usually do something kind of funny. So like I'll throw in an image or whatever, try to make them laugh. Maybe go over to Google and grab like a funny image. Let's go to like something funny. I don't know. Something like that. It's just I mean, please don't think that this is going to make you more money. This is just me being weird, I think. I just like to kind of throw people off so it's not the same old junk. I do all sorts of weird stuff on there. Or, the other thing you can do is you can put, 5-star review. I mean, it's up to you. Okay. So let's just take a look at what we got here. So there we go. Those same 3 pages are there. The reason the page we just made is not there and you can't navigate to it is because we hit it. Okay. So let's go back over. Now I want to go back to the home page. I can click on that. So here's where the rubber hits the road. This is what you need to set up before you do anything else. Click on this. Okay. And now the confirmation here. Confirmation, I want you to link it to, and then we went to a standard page, and guess what page we're going to do it? We're going to link it to complete. Save. Okay. Preview. Preview is like gonna basically. So now if I fill this out, oops. Okay. Give me my free quote. It should pop us over. Let's see here. Whoops. It should pop us over here. Well, it should have popped me over to the other page, but I guess in preview mode, which is what we're in, the form is disabled. So the main thing, all I need you to do is just double check that's where it was going to pop us to. So that when anytime anyone's going to submit a form on your page, they're always going to land on this page. The only thing you need to make sure that you've done, and just double check it before anything else, and then we'll get moving on this thing. Go back to that main form. All I want you to do is double check. If it's checked, we're fine. We don't need to test it on the form here. Check that the confirmation is set to your page, okay? That's all, okay? And in the next video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to start copying these over and start being able to duplicate this so you don't have to build it out every time and save yourself a ton of time. All right, cool. So in this video, what we're going to do, we've kind of built this thing out. We've got our form hooked up. So now this page is like our template in a sense, okay? We've kind of built this template out. Now, all we got to do in order to make sure we don't have to rebuild this page on every page, if we want to keep the same look and feel, which I like because I like every page to be set up. The only thing I might change out is photos, so you don't have the same photos. Everyone asks us all the time, if you have the same photo on all your pages, is it duplicate content? It could be, but I don't think it really is. I don't think that's what Google's necessarily looking at as far as duplicate content, but I definitely would switch them around or excuse me, get different ones in there instead of using the same ones. If you use the same one a couple times in your site, is it the end of the world? No. Just don't worry about it all that much, but that gets asked a ton, so I thought I'd address it. So here's what we're going to do. Click on pages. Which one was our template? It was the home page. So we're going to click on the home page. I'm going to delete this Dan Klein page. Don't need it. That's how you delete a page, by the way. Just down there, click. Don't delete your pages if you okay. So we got the home page. I want to add a new page to this site. Okay. Instead of me just adding a page, okay, and now I got this I got this blank canvas. So if I wanted to add a page and just go build it from scratch, I got this whole blank canvas that I have to build. Don't really want to do that. I want to have this page across all of my different locations. Okay, all my different pages I'm going to set up, entry points. So I'm going to hit on this. Okay, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to hit copy page. Okay. Boom. Now I got two home pages. So don't get yourself confused. I want you to pull that right up there. Okay, and then we're going to rename this whatever page you're going to do next. Now, this is where some of you guys are going to start going, oh goodness, what do I do? And this is where the questions are going to flood in, okay? Well, first things first, what do? Well, let's look at what some other people have done. Okay, so here's a page. So, is it a service page? Okay, services, that's a good page. So let's go back here, type in services, okay? Now let's look at that page. Save and edit. Service page looks identical, okay? So then this, you're going to start changing everything out. No two pages can have the same content, okay? So please, please, please understand that. Now this is just filler text for the time being, but surely we want to start switching things out, right? So I don't really want that image since that was on my home page. Okay, obviously the content's going to be 100% different, right guys? 100% different. It can't be the same. Okay. Most local business owners will not go through the trouble that we're going to go through. Okay. They won't. They're going to get a little easy business page up by someone, and that's going to be it. Okay. So services, different text. Okay. So now let's go back to pages. So we have, I'm going to delete this page. This is that one I added to show you. Okay. Home and services, but yet our service page, now all we got to do is just put in the content. Now let's go check out what other stuff that they've done. Now, oh, they got a drop down. So how do we build a drop down? Carpet cleaning, tile and grout, odor. Okay. So these are some of the ones that they added, and I'm sure this is a work in progress. So let's say we wanted to do carpet cleaning. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take the service page or the home page, they're the same, and I'm going to copy the page. Hang tight. There it is, services. Don't get yourself confused. Now I'm going to slightly indent that. Okay, that's going to be a drop down. Carpet cleaning. Okay. Now, let's say I wanted to do another. I'm going to copy that page. So this is where I want you to start kind of building out your skeleton of what your site's going to look like. Okay. Oops. What did I just do? I just added a blank page. I'm an idiot. I'm going to delete that. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter which one. These are all the same now, so you can copy any one of them. Copy page. All right. Save and edit. Let's just take a look at what we've built so far. All right. So we got home, we got services, we got about us, and we got contact us. Okay. We click on services. Now we got this drop down, right? We click on any of these, it's going to take us to those pages. Now we copied these, so obviously we got to go in and change. But the great thing is this form has been copied so we don't have to rebuild this form every time. Only thing we got to do is switch out this, change our title, change our content that we're going to have put in there, change out our photos, and we're done. Okay, we don't have to go into this massive building mode. Okay, so that's a little trick that I've learned over the years to move at a much more rapid pace than having to build out this form on every single page that we have. So that's that, guys. I want you to start building. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to find the different keywords and the different pages you're going to add to your site. So we'll see you on the next video. Okay, so at this point, you guys have kind of got this whole kind of thing starting to get set up. You're starting to see the layout of this thing. And maybe you've got your, you think you have your niche kind of picked at this point, and that's cool. So what I want to do in this next video is kind of show you how you're going to like jump into your niche, know what pages to build, and give you all the tools and the strategies behind that. Now, the interesting thing is, and I'll try to find it and pull it up here, in the old training, let me show you. In the old training, we made everyone go into the limousine niche, which is why you saw probably when you joined so many limo examples. Okay. And then when we got to this point in the training, we said, add all of these pages to your site. So everyone would go in and add all of these pages to their site. So that's, and we check off on it. But what I've learned over the year is all these pages didn't matter. I was trying to hammer a point home that I just went out and I did research on the different limo companies all over the country. And I found that these pages were they were on a lot of different sites. And so being that I'm just going to copy what the top dogs do. So I went to the top markets and looked at the top company in that market, the LAs, the New Yorks, the Londons, the Sydneys, whatever. You go to the biggest markets and you start looking at what the number 1, number 2, number 3 companies are doing, and you start replicating it. Just copy what works, right? So we started finding all these pages, but then I added them. So I basically took all the thought process out of this, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because on the first one, you're so brand new, you're kind of going like, oh, well, what do I do? But it's a bad thing because once I teach you teach you the ability or the non-ability to go out there and do your next site, then when the next site actually comes to fruition, you don't even do it. And so we had a lot of people would drop off after the second site because they didn't know how to do the research, okay? So in Job Killing 2.0, I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm going to show you some strategies and some ways that you can figure out what pages to put on this site. First thing I want you to do, I want you to head over Google, and I want you to go to the Google Chrome web store. You're going to need Google Chrome to do this. So download Google Chrome. I think Firefox might also have it. Okay. This is a free tool. Free. Keyword free. Free. Brad and I are not going to give you recommendations to spend money on stuff if we don't believe you need it. Okay. Even though they probably pay us to do it. I want you to go down to SEO Quake and I want you to install it. Okay. I've already installed it. So you see it up here in my toolbar. That little SEO Quake. All you need to do is hit add to Chrome, not Moz. SEO Quake. Add to Chrome, okay? It's going to download and it's going to put it up in your little toolbar for you, okay, in your Chrome browser. Okay, now what I'm able to do is SEO Quake is like a little extension that when you do a Google search, it's going to tell you about the site. So let's just do, I'm just going to do Folsom carpet cleaning as just an example, since I'm staying on that niche while I go through this stuff. Okay. Underneath, as you notice, you see SEO Quake has added this little thing in underneath, okay? This little like kind of information. It doesn't look like a lot of the stuff's loading, but let's click into this Goose's carpet, stone and carpet cleaning, okay? All right, so up at the top here, SEO Quake, it's not giving a for whatever reason, I'll do another couple searches, but it's not giving a ton of data on this stuff. It tells me that it's got 23 backlinks. Now these tools are not exactly correct, so don't worry about that so much. And internal and external links, okay? So it's got that. I want to see, what I'm really looking for here is their index, okay? So you see this Google index, it says question mark, but let's click it. It's going to pull up all the pages. Okay, so it's not loading it in anymore. It's basically, you got to click on the question mark. This is a new update. So this site right here has 28 pages to it, okay? So this guy is very authoritative, probably why he's #1 in the marketplace. Now, if I want to look at those pages and do some research, I'm going to go ahead and click those 28. And now what's going to happen is every page on this guy's site is going to come up. He's got a testimonial page, get a quote page, carpet care, okay, site map, carpet cleaning Folsom, carpet cleaning Fair Oaks. So he's hitting some of the other areas, other markets. He's made pages about them. Carpet cleaning El Dorado Hills, okay, great. Carpet cleaning Roseville. These are all close by company or little towns. Sacramento, Granite Bay. Okay, so this is good. This is good. If I want to go head to head with this guy, guess what pages I need to have on my site? If I'm hitting, I need to have all these pages, and every one of these pages needs to be more authoritative in nature. Okay, so all I would do is start kind of creating a list. I just get a little text document. Okay, and I just start writing these down. Okay, and saving them. Okay, so then I would just come over to here, our site over here, and I would just start adding the pages. So oops, but remember, we want to copy. Sorry about that. So if I was going to go head to head with this guy, he's #1. I want to outdo him. If he's got 28 pages, I want 35. You know, not specifically. I want to beat anyone and everyone. If every one of his pages is, let's look at a couple of his pages actually. If every one of his pages is, you know, let's see how big these pages are. Cameron Park. Let's just, when I say big, let's see how much text is on the page. Okay. So he's done a good job. Whoever did this, they put, I mean, it's kind of jacked up there, but there's a reason this company is #1 when we Googled it. It's got it's the most authoritative as far as it's done a better job than everyone else in the marketplace. Let's go and look at the next competitor. So he had 28 pages. Let's see. Next one. Don't worry about these ones. These ones are going to show up. This is good actually that these show up, because that means that no one's really doing that much. So don't worry that Yelp has like 10 billion pages. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. Ultimately, Google wants to show off the local business owners if they can help themselves. Okay, here's the next in line, okay? So much different as far as quality of the site, in my opinion at least. Here's some of the pages, but let's go up and let's look how many pages are in Google's index. 10. Cool. Awesome. This means that first is 28 pages, second is 10. So, you know, to beat the #2 player, it's really not that difficult. Let's check out what they've got. So here's all of his pages. So you can pick up new ideas: upholstery cleaning, hardwood floor cleaning. This is not a real page. Tile and grout cleaning too, means he probably built it. Water damage, carpet cleaning, house cleaning, current specials, natural stone cleaning. So that's all the pages. Now let's just look at upholstery cleaning. Let's just take a look at that. Classic right here. One paragraph. Now, in the coming videos, Brad is going to give you some guidance on content, okay? The bottom line is, and we're going to go back just to hammer this point home. The bottom line is we're going to build our business just like the biggest player in the world does. We go back to that goat cheese example. And Wikipedia, why does Wikipedia come up for goat cheese? It's not a goat cheese website. Why? It's the most authoritative, okay? It's just they have the most stuff, and it's nothing crazy, but they're just known for being overly authoritative on a subject. Same thing with, remember, we looked up Mike Tyson, okay? So content is one of those things that most local business owners skimp on, okay? They skimp on it because they just want to get things up as quickly as possible, right? They just want to get a little quick thing up about it, okay? And you know what? It still works. It still works. Even with just a little bit of text on the page, it works. But if you want to start knocking people off, okay, you want to start dominating for all the little weird long tail keywords, I'm going to show you in the next tool in just a second, okay, you're going to need to have 500, 750, 1,000 words per page, and you're going to blow these people away with these different internal pages that you have, because they're all going to take the shortcut and do something like that, okay? So that's huge, okay? So your first step in kind of grabbing and understanding what pages you're going to add to your site is, A, use that little SEO quick deal, to a free extension, and start looking at the number of index pages that each one of your competitors has. We can go one more, okay? Let's go one more. So my first guy had 28. So if I want to beat him, I got to be bigger than him. My second guy had 10. Okay? And it's not the only factor. Okay, so we got Carter's is next, right? He looks like he just has one page. Look, it's not even his home page. We talked about that earlier. Let's say Carter's here. Let's look at index pages. Boom. Wow, 279. So something I can probably give you, I can probably tell you what's going to happen. He's probably going to have a bunch of nonsense pages that they just copied and pasted. That does not work. But this guy, the interesting thing is this guy isn't specifically to Folsom, but he did make a page about it. So he might be part of, like, his main business may be in another market, but he's made a page kind of about that market, and so he does rank in that market, okay? So let's see here. He's got all these pages. So this would be a really good place to come up with interesting keyword ideas. So let's just keep going. Big site. Very big site. Probably let's keep going here. He's got a lot of these pages. Folsom Carpet Cleaning Service. Best Folsom Carpet Cleaner. So they're definitely going after, they're trying to SEO for specifics, which in this day and age, Google doesn't like that as much. They'd rather have one page like carterscarpetcleaning.com/Folsom, right? And then that whole page interlaced with really authoritative content. All those keywords would pop. But he's went ahead and done this. So again, like I say, here's another page. So like a lot of these are almost like duplicated, but again, pretty low on content, pretty thin, right? So just because this guy has all these pages doesn't mean he's going to be the top player in the market. So don't think you got to go do 279 pages or anything like that. What I'm trying to show you is, A, who's the players in the market, looking at, how much they've done. B, giving you different ideas for pages for your site by looking up the top dogs and just outdoing them in the marketplace, okay? So those are the tools that I want you, that's the first tool I want to show you for this video. I wanted to show you how you could look at your competitors. I'm going to show you different things about this tool. Do I want you going out and buying these tools? No, use the free version. There is a chance, just so you know, if we keep doing searches on Google, I'm going to try to show you. at some point Google's going to say that there's like a robot, okay? It's part of the tool. If you just keep searching Google, it's loading in all this extra data, and Google's going to want to have you solve a CAPTCHA at some point. I'm just trying to show you. So this comes up a lot. I'll pause it. Well, I tried to. I haven't been able to get it to do it. But if you do get see a thing that says that you need to solve a CAPTCHA, it's because of your SEO Quick plugin, because it's pulling all of this data on every search, and Google wants to know what's up. But that's kind of why I think they have these question marks here now, is because they used to pull all this stuff right up front. And then Google was like, why is a robot basically pulling this stuff? And you'd have to solve a CAPTCHA and make sure you're human. So that happens, just know it's from your SEO Quick. Easy way to turn that on and off. If you don't want all this stuff shown on every search, just click up in the right-hand box and disable, and that thing will be disabled. On the next videos, I'm going to show you a couple more tools, free of course, that you can utilize to come up with ideas for your keywords for your sites. See you then.